想让你 Adopted as the anthem of the African National Congress in 1925, this has become the anthem of the people of African descent throughout the world.
That this is an African American celebration honoring the culture, most of all that it's not a black Christmas. You had the Christmas already. That's right. So that we don't want anyone to think that this is that. So we're going to get started. We have a very special elder that's going to do libation and do a sharing for us. He's known throughout Westchester, East Coast, known in the Kubalan, and his name is Kado Nasi Yakane. And so he blessed us by saying he would come and do the libation and do a sharing as he's doing the libation. So without further ado, we thank you, family. We love you. And we say, Ashe! Ashe! Kado Nasi Yakane.
Brothers and sisters. First and foremost, giving all honor and praise to God Most High.
Amen.
God of our ancient forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. With much respect, I come to you this evening through the words of Brother Abishai. And it's always my pleasure to be with the family.
Yes.
Whenever I come around the family, brothers and sisters, it's almost like I'm speaking to the choir. Because you already know what I know, and I always learn whenever I'm around you. But the Most High has placed us in a special place where we're able to share with one another. So tonight, my brothers and sisters, the libation I share. This water was brought back from Ghana to me from the Slave River. You know, as they marched our ancestors down into Cape Coast, down to the capsule to be sold, to go through the doors of no return, they were washed in the Slave River. They were washed so they would look good. So this is my connection tonight with our ancestors. That we would share in the libation with the water from the Slave River. So brothers and sisters, if you don't mind, I'd ask you to stand up with me while we do this. And I always try my best to use the tree language of Ghana, West Africa. So when I say Asafo Kwehen, you say Mbra. Asafo Kwehen is just a call that we give out. This is a call we give out to the warriors.
That's right.
And if they hear you, they say Mbra, bring it. It'll happen, whatever it is. So Asafo Kwehen.
Mbra.
Asafo Kwehen.
Mbra.
Asafo Kwehen.
Mbra.
Mimasusu in Krum Krum. Mbra.
Mbra.
Minyaka Pandian Pan Krum.
Mbra.
Otomaka Krum.
Mbra.
Sasia Krum.
Mbra.
Yami Krum.
Mbra.
And my habit since I've been back from Ghana, I first went in '86. So I always got to stop because I don't want to lose my people. I don't want to think I'm just making stuff up. So we first give praise and honor to the God that sustains our life, our health, and our strength. They say you can lean on him and never fall down.
All right now.
That's the God that we serve. Then the God that causes the rain and causes the elements to grow and causes the land to be nourished. Oh, we lean on him and we don't fall down. So we give all praise to the Most High. He's known by many names because he has many attributes. Some people get stuck there. But you can't get stuck there because some of you got more names than one. Some of you are good at certain things that other people are not good at. And you're not known by your birth name, but you might be known by your gift. So that's what we're talking about. So when it comes to the Most High, when it comes to God, you got to expand your mind. The universe is still expanding. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You can only say that because in the Psalms, David said, he rides upon the heavens of heavens by his name, Yah. So we say hallelujah. We give all praise to Yah. All praise to brothers and sisters. Asafo Kwehen. Asafo Kwehen. Asafo Kwehen. Hallelujah. We can never forget men like Dr. Martin Luther King. El Hajj El Shabazz. We can never forget men like Marcus Garvey. Women like Harriet Tubman. Women like Sojourner Truth. We got so many. Women like Fannie Lou Hamer. You know, it's a beautiful time. We use this time to invite the ancestors to come into our effulgence. To come and have a drink with us. To come and sup with us. That's what we're doing because we never forget them. If we forget them, then we have lost our way. Can I repeat that? If we forget them, we have lost our way. See, I see Dr. Garanga and those brothers and sisters of his think tank. They were just as important as Malcolm. They were just as important as Dr. King. Everybody that worked for our liberation
Yes.
That brother was just as important.
Yes.
He tried to pull us out the dark. Look at our people. This is not a come down on Christmas, Hanukkah, or whatever it is that we're dealing with. But the real story should be told. Christmas is just an economic, European feast or festival. They pull everybody into it. Give us no rights, but you pull us into it. When we get rights, what we do, we flock to it. We want to be just like you. That's a mistake. Solomon said, envy not the oppressor, nor choose any of his ways. But we have done both. We've envied him, and we've tried to become just like him. It's not, it didn't work. It's not working. Dr. Karenga tried to pull us home. He tried to make us look past these shores, look back to your natural. That's what he was trying to do. Some of us get upset because everything don't fall in line the way we like it. So what? We got problems with 1619 or 1555. So what? I'm trying to figure out why does it make a difference? We still find ourselves in this hemisphere. We still find ourselves under the same thing. What difference do it make if it's 1555, 1553, 1619? So what? Don't get upset. I don't want to offend nobody. I do that sometimes, but I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just trying to make sense. I'm just trying to make sense, brothers and sisters. We thank God for all of you. I thank God for all of you. The elders in this community are strong. I thank God for this whole think tank right here. Whenever I come out and I see you, I get so much from that. All of us are getting older. All of us are not what we used to be. But if we can pass on what we have to those coming through, then we're doing something right. I'm thankful to see this young man here.
Yes.
To show you how small the world is. I met this young man about a year ago. In a program. I was surprised to see him here when I got here. You're a good young man, brother.
Yes.
You stick around. You listen to Brother Epstein. They'll teach you how to walk into the future. You'll have your eyes open. You'll have your eyes open.
Wow.
I'm not going to hold you long, brother.
No, some shit, my lord. No.
But let's keep on going. What's up for a queen? What's up for a queen? What's up for a queen? And a new and something for a crew. That's right. And something for a crew. And a new and something for a crew. Hallelujah. You may be silly, brothers and sisters. You know, I'll share with you. My man, Brother Judah Ben Yehuda, he's probably been out of the body now for maybe 4 or 5 years, I'm not sure. Time moves so fast. But he came to me one time, he said, I got you a gig, I want you to go and pour libations this African wedding. I said, a room full of Africans and you want me to go pour libations at African wedding? He said, yeah, got it. So I go on the wedding. The place is so big, there have to be at least 200 or 300 of us in there, Africans. Come on. And I'm saying to myself, Lord, why do you have me here like this? Am I going to make a mockery? Am I going to look funny before my people? I want to be correct. And I'm trying to do this in a true language. I said, where's my table? They sat me in the front. I sat in the front. And then another couple came and sat with me and they had twins. This was a Gambian wedding. The only Ghanaians in the place were sat at my table. How did that happen? That tells me that God is in the plan. So you got to be able to recognize that God is in the plan. So he gives you signs and he gives you symbols. So you got to recognize that. So I'm saying all of my thoughts of being short and my shortcomings went away. Because the Ghanaian brother was right there and he's able to tell me when I'm wrong. So I told him what I was going to do. He said, go ahead. I poured a libation. When I finished, he said, you know, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. He said, what you need to do is remember the royal people. Remember remember the nap. I said, how I do that? He said, Nanu, it's something for crew.
Wow.
I said, I got that. I got that. I'll do that. But he went on, and we became friends. But he taught me something. What that showed me, brothers and sisters, is that when the Most High puts you in a spot,
Come on.
it's not for you to try and figure out how it's going to work. See, I'm going to go back to the old Holy Ghost. That's what I'm going to go back to. Where it said, in that day, it said the Holy Ghost will bring all things back to your remembrance. Even if you didn't know it before, you know it now. And that's what that's about. So, a lot of times, we lean, but we lean on man, who's short. We need to learn how to lean on God, who can lean on it and never fall down. All praises to the Most High.
All praise.
So I thank the Most High for this.
Hallelujah.
I thank the Most High for you. I thank the Most High for this community. And God knows we're only going to get stronger. We can't get weaker. This is the day when we cannot get weaker. Look at what's going on in the earth. The Bible tells you a whole lot of stuff in Revelation if you're willing to read it. But we've been tampered with, so we can't really read it. I remember years ago when we used to say the Bible was tampered with, people would scoff at us. What do you mean the Bible was tampered with? And then about 2 years ago, they showed you in the New York Times a slave Bible. They said, this is a slave Bible. Why is it a slave Bible? Because certain things was taken out. That slaves would not become, how do you say, motivated. Then they said certain things were put in more detail so we can keep slaves subservient. So is that not tampering? That's tampering. So our minds have been tampered with. Some of our people, like I'm an Israelite, brothers and sisters, not that all y'all know that. But it's all good. But some of my people can't even see the possibility. See, when you can't see the possibility, you've been tampered with. You can't believe that a Hebrew could be black.
Wow, wow.
So that means you can't believe that Abraham was black. You can't believe that Isaac was black or Ishmael was black. You can't believe it. And they tell us all the time. They talk about it all the time. But now, the earth is catching up to where we at. So be careful, brothers and sisters, because now they know that you're about to come through. You're about to come into your power. This is what I've been hearing. The whole thing with the planets lining up, people are upset. I heard one white boy wrote down, planets lining up, black people coming to your power, come on.
Yes, I.
Yeah, well, you know what? Things happen in a certain way. They say in the age of Aquarius, things would line up. The age of spiritual enlightenment, that's how things would line up. And what do we have in the age of Aquarius? What good do we see? What do we see with the age of Aquarius? What do they show us? Do they show us a fish? Or do they show us a man bending down, pouring libation? That's right. That's what they show us. So he's saying that now wisdom will come into the earth. And only those that are susceptible to it will deal with it. I've been going for a minute. Let me just say this. What we want to do, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. But sometimes when you get put in spots like this, it's incumbent upon you to say the right thing.
That's right. That's right.
So, you know, even if it hurts me, I'm going to say it. What we should do is try and tune ourselves in to what's really going on. Don't get caught up in this mess, because there's a lot of mess going on.
That's right.
We want to try and fine tune our spirit, because a lot of wisdom is now coming out. So much I can say, brothers and sisters. It's good to be here. It's good to be here with you. I hope I haven't bored you. I hope I was able to put a couple of sentences together that you might be able to think about a little later on. Because I have much respect for everybody in this room. And much respect to the brothers and sisters that I've known for so many years. And they have been doing the same thing for so many years. They are what you would kind of call the rocks along the way. So I thank God for them. So with that, brothers and sisters, and some of them, hallelujah, and brother. Give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand.
want to acknowledge the blessings of the oldest person and the youngest person in this gathering. And so, without further ado, I believe the oldest person in here is my sister. So, before we continue, we're going to bring on Baba O and Oyiniki to do the Kwanzaa table. But we want to have some saying from the elders in the room. And once she says what she needs to say to the family, then we'll do the Kwanzaa table. And after the Kwanzaa table, we're going to do the grassroots salute. And after the grassroots salute, then the family members can have something to say. All right? All right. So, without further ado, I'd like to bring on my sister, Cynthia, but she's known to me and Vanessa as Mommy's Face. She looks just like our mother.
I make sure that I say hello to them, even if they don't respond back to me. Because we've gotten so used to, if I don't know you, I'm not speaking to you. We have to get past that. If we see one of us, even with the mask on, you can look at them, and through your eye contact, they can tell you're talking to them. All right? We've got to do it that way. That's the only way we can do it now, correct? All right, so let's take that extra time, that extra energy to all the brown, black people, especially us. I mean, you can do it to Caucasians too. I do it to everybody because I feel that all of us are part of the universe. Okay, and we have run into all of us have run into some wonderful, wonderful white people that have the same heart as we do. They just happen to be that color, just like a long time ago it was said to me, can I help that I'm white and you're black? And I'm like, all right, that is true, but what can we do about that? You just got to come from the heart. That's everything.
Absolutely.
Young people, always remember your elders, as my brother said. And as you're getting older, embrace getting older. It's all right. Like the brother said here, we're never going to be the same as we were before. Even as you're young, you're still going to get there. If the good Lord so lets you live that long. So let's be grateful for every moment, every good intention. Start out, always to me, start out in your mind with, when you step out in the morning, when you get up, what are my intentions for the day? How do I want to be? What message do I want to put out there to the universe? You're not going to always have a good day, but it's a good day because you woke up. You can choose how you want to be. And as the Buddha said, don't go with just happiness. Not I want happiness, happiness. You'll attract it. Okay? Women, I want to talk to you also. You are the bearers of all these people here. Okay? And I know it takes the other part too. But we are the givers. We are the nurturers. We're the ones that go through that labor. I haven't done it, but I know sisters that have. And to produce another human the best that you can. And if you give them, your children, your best, don't step. I was talking to a young sister earlier today, and she was troubled. First, she didn't want to tell me, but I could tell by the tone of her conversation. And I said, it's all right to say you're troubled. Because those things happen. It's not going to always be like, oh, well, you know, it's going to be, no, it's what's happening in the universe. It's what's happening in the world. And it affects us. I don't care how Afrocentric you think you are, or anything like that. And you look within yourself on how you feel or what impacts you. So I told her, and she has girls, and I told her, one of the things I want you to always do with the girls and to the boys too, teach them the truth. Do not shade things to children, because they already know. They can tell by your body language what's going on. So you share with them in a way that you can make them understand that you're trying your best. There's nothing to do with it. You're part of it. But you are going to protect them. But they got to go along with your program. And you explain why they have to go along with it. Kids are serious. I know I always was, but my mother said something to me. I'm like, well, why? Why we got to do it like that? Why we have to move? Why we got to do this? And she would say, just listen to what I'm telling you.
That's right.
Okay? And help me. Help me through it. When you get that kind of cooperation, you have to help your parents. You know, because they're coming from you, not, oh, shut up. That's none of your concern. It is their concern. They're here with you. So include them in as much truth as you possibly can. So again, grow old, grow well, grow healthy, and continue to prosper, because we are so rich in so many ways, even if you don't think so. You're blessed every day. You're not sick, and if you are, it's minimal. You got a roof over your head, you got food. It may not be the carte blanche stuff, but you're not hungry. The only thing we're striving for is inner work. And you have to do that inner work every day. Not just, oh yeah, when I meditate. No, it's a walking thing.
Yes.
As you are washing your face, as you're getting ready to go out for your day. It's always inner work. It's called life lessons. That's how you learn.
Wow.
So I love you all. Thank you for listening. And have a blessed Kwanzaa.
Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings. I am NiKheper-Ra, Mama O. I just want to thank everybody who is on Zoom today, watching and enjoying this with us and participating with us. We did see your comments and muted everybody, so you shouldn't hear all that extra chat anymore. Hopefully you're able to hear us over the drum. I did see that comment as well, so the drummers know to kind of keep it a little low while we're talking. And we just want to thank you for the comments. Please keep them coming. So that we know how we're doing and that we are keeping you informed. We are so grateful to have such a full space. You know, sometimes you don't know what the Creator is going to do, but what the Creator is allowing is this year's Kwanzaa celebration is to have people from all over the country to be able to come into a Kwanzaa celebration and truly have an African community celebration. So we are very grateful that each of you are here, and that each of you who are in the room with us as well. And you'll be seeing people as they come up to do their pieces. We also have two vendors who are in, who will come at the end and explain what it is that they are selling. and you'll be able to do some UMOJA, little cooperative economics, with them through their websites or through Cash Apps or PayPals or however they work their stuff. They'll explain it. Okay, so we're going to move on to talk about what is going on with the Kwanzaa table, and I hope you can see me. Baba? And not to worry, we are social distanced by families, so people in families are in groups, and then people who are not in families are at least 6 feet away from the other family grouping. So we're keeping it as healthy as we can during a pandemic. All right.
Margani. To strive and to maintain unity in the family, in the community, in the nation, and the race. Come on. It's a communication, it's a celebration of the good.
Yes, sir.
Kwanzaa came out of our great struggle in the 60s.
Yes, sir.
Many of you who were alive knew that in 1966 a whole lot was going on. Oh yeah, in 65 Malcolm got shot. You knew it was set. You knew it was set. And in 1965 you had the Bloody Sunday that marched to Selma that everybody witnessed, trampled on our people.
Go ahead, brother.
Through that blood, something came out.
Yes, sir.
So we are looking at the Phoenix. We are looking at the transformation. Kwanzaa is addressing itself to us and saying, you have a language, you have a history, you have a culture.
Come on, Papa.
And we are glad to be custodians.
Amen.
We're glad to be custodians of our people. So we're so grateful to be here to celebrate, what is called the celebration of the good.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes,
So let's get right into it.
Come on.
Because Africans make it very plain. When they set up their table, when they do rituals, they are talking to God and creation.
Yes, sir.
They ain't trying to hide no punches from it. They're trying to let you know just what you need, just what God provided, and just what you need to do. And we're grateful today.
Yes, sir.
We have something that we can look at and remember.
Yes, sir.
This Pan-African tradition.
That's right.
So they say it's 7 days, 7 principles, and 7 symbols.
Come on, Papa.
And so these 7 represents this sacred number of completion.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's one tradition, and so we have to go on back to our tradition right quick. And so we're going to share first the 7 principles. Today is the first day of Kwanzaa, and I'll say it again. Habaragani.
UMOJA.
Umoja. Habaragani.
UMOJA.
Habaragani.
UMOJA.
Umoja is unity. To strive for and maintain unity in the family,
Yes, sir.
in the community, in the nation. And he says race. And all we ask you to do is just, if you can maintain family and maintain unity in the family, then you're doing your job.
Absolutely.
I just want you to know that if you maintain family and you maintain unity in your family, you're doing your job. So we all have a job to do, and the women are encouraging me to do mine because they can see that little Baptist minister in me trying to come on out. It's all right. It's okay. Go ahead, Mama. Holy Ghost, oh, the angels in heaven sign my name. Oh, I know I've been changed. I need you with all y'all. I know I've been changed. I know I've been changed. The angels in heaven sign my name. Oh, oh. chant and the song of the deity of change.
That's right. Come on, God.
The spirit of change. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, weenie, weenie.
Yansa weenie, weenie, weenie.
Oh yeah. She's the deity of change. And her change to bring about prosperity.
Come on, God. Come on.
This is what we're about. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing the best I can with the camera, y'all. Excuse me, there's people on both sides of this thing. So we're gonna go ahead. So let's go right into the symbols first, and then we'll end off with the Mashuma Saba, the 7 principles. So the first thing that is on our table, very basic, essential, and that's the Mazao. Can we say Mazao? Mazao. Mazao is the fruits of our labor. The apple and the orange just look like the end result. Any of you who raise a garden, any of you who raise children, any of you who done anything, you know that it's a long time before you can see it in this manifestation.
That's right.
Oh yeah. It has to have a seed, and that seed has to be planted. Once the seed is planted, it must be nurtured. Nurtured with the sun and nurtured with the water. And then it begins to break up and bear fruit. What a process! You see, Africans, they're teaching. They're teaching the process. Don't just look at the Mazao and say, Mazao, fruit, end result. It's a process.
Come on, teach me, Papa.
The first thing we want to show you that's on your Kwanzaa table is the Mazao.
First fruits.
The first fruits.
First fruits.
Those fruits that are the fruits of our labor. From the beginning of the year, throughout the year, and then we have a harvest. And the harvest is the fruit that we show on the table. The harvest is the harvest is the fruit that we show through our actions and through our behaviors, and how we become better and more reflective African people, so that we have come back into ourselves more and more every year, that our fruit becomes sweeter and sweeter every year, and that our harvest becomes larger and larger every year. So that is what we are going toward. We are looking to have a greater and greater harvest, a sweeter and sweeter harvest each year. So we do that by making sure that the words of our mouth, you remember this, the meditations of our heart, and also the actions of our limbs be acceptable to all the benevolent forces, to the Orisha, to our ancestors who kneel before God, to a NiKheper-Ra, to all of those benevolent forces by so many names, all the saints of God, that to our mothers and our mothers' great-great-grandmothers, that it would be acceptable to them how we treat one another.
Absolutely.
So we want to be sure that we do that. And so we make sure that we have plenty fruit for plenty sharing amongst the family. And your family table at home, make sure that you have some fruits so that you can represent the work that you have done during this year.
And the second symbol, the next symbol, is the NiKheper-Ra. You know, say NiKheper-Ra. NiKheper-Ra is the earth, is the map, the foundation. It is the earth upon which we rely on, and the earth upon which we get our sustenance from, and we stand upon. One thing beautiful about Kwanzaa is that it reminds us to respect nature. So the symbols are right on your table. When you set up your table, set up your NiKheper-Ra, get the best mat that you can find. And remember, it represents the earth, foundation. Yes. So the next principle, the next symbol that we have on our table, should be on our table, is the Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is representative of the people. That's the entire people. That's both children and elders and the babies and the young unborn. This is represent all of humanity right here.
That's right.
This is what the Africans are saying, that you should stand tall, stand where you are on earth, be proud and stand in your proper dignity and proper authority and proper power. This is what the Kanara represents. Then we have the Mohendi. Mohendi.
Mohendi.
Yes. Thank you very much. Mohendi represents the children.
All right.
Children that are present here, children that are our future, children that in so many ways make life meaningful to us.
Yes, Lord.
How much lighter is the program when the children are around,
That's right.
acting up?
That's right.
But occasionally they do act up, we do remember.
Oh, yeah.
But we are so gracious to know that they're picking it up, just like we picked it up. Around and scurrying and looking at it and seeing what you're talking about, seeing if it's real to you. They're feeling body language, somebody said. They're feeling energy, somebody said.
That's right.
So you got to give it to them just the way you have it, in sincerity. So we are thankful for the Mohendi, for our children.
And when you have, for your homes, you have at least 1 ear of corn. You have an ear of corn for each of the children who are represented in your home,
That's right.
in your family. And if there are no children, or if all the children are grown and gone and have their own Kwanzaa set up by now, you have 1 ear of corn that is on your Kwanzaa table to represent the future. The children are our future.
That's right.
And so we have to pour into them because they are like each one of these kernels of corn. It's like each of the things that they hear from all different sides. You want your voice to be that kernel of corn that helps it be sweet to the taste. So that when the children speak, they speak the wisdom of the elders.
Wow.
And the vision of the future.
Wow.
Yes. So with that, the next thing on your table, there's 7 that we want to bring to your attention, is the Zawadi.
All right now.
The Zawadi are gifts. These are not just normal gifts, these are cultural-oriented gifts, educational gifts that you will give to your children after they have made a commitment
There you go. There you go.
towards something good and something that is of character building.
Come on, teach, brother.
What could that be? Well, Mom, Dad, I'll make sure I'll say thank you very much at the end of my sentence from now on. I don't know about y'all, but I have to say, they stopped me and said, what did you say? Yes, ma'am. You have to put the ma'am and the sir at the end of your statements.
Come on.
And it was a sign of respect.
That's right.
And so today when we hear people, young people saying, yes sir, yes ma'am, it is a sign of respect. This is one of our old ways.
Yes.
So there are many ways that we can find and to build our character as young people.
That's right.
Children, in relationship to the family and the community. So that's what we're saying about Zawadi. And then you offer them, you say, well, make a pact, sign it.
That's right.
And then next year, we give you a gift for your stewardness, for your steadfastness, for your desire to be good and to do good. And then the Zawadi is offered. So this is the context in which the Zawadi is being manifest. So we are grateful for the Zawadi, and then
We just wanted to add that your Zawadi should be something that is either handmade or a book or something that is culturally relevant so that they are getting steeped more and more in their Africanness.
That's right.
And not more and more in their Macy-ness. Amen. All right. Okay. We're not trying to, you want to support our vendors because our vendors and using UMOJA are something that we can give to our children and say this is how we give to one another so that both the good and important to have. So we don't get stuck on labels and designer names that have nothing to do with you. And that is not bringing no money into your community and could care any less about whether or not you bought it or not. So it's important that we give to one another and support our own communities. And so our Zawadi should also be something that is handmade, something that is culturally relevant, something that is bought from a vendor, something that is bought from an African-owned shop.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. The next symbol that we want to bring to your attention is the Kwanzaa UMOJA. Kwanzaa UMOJA. That is the Unity Cup. The Unity Cup is a symbolic representation of our unity and a symbolic representation of us reminding us what is good and what we have said here that will be of lasting value to us. And generally, it is passed around the room. Each one of us will take a sip from it, showing that unity. And you can do this at home. But when you're in the community, we do not recommend that. However,
We have a pandemic.
however, we will do a symbolic representation now by holding up your right hand. This is the right hand for the Kwanzaa UMOJA, the Unity Cup.
You can do this at home. This is your part.
Yes.
You can participate.
May we strive for and maintain unity in the family,
That's right.
the community, the nation, and the race. Ashe, 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 ashe.
And we symbolically drink from this.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
cup.
Take the drink, take the drink. Gotta remember to drink from the cup.
This unity cup is usually used for the pouring of libation first,
Right.
and then it is shared within the community so that we are bringing together both the spiritual and the temporal. So we're asking that the ancestors and that the God of our own understanding be in our space and move into our own vessel.
Wow, wow.
And so we ask for the spirits of one another that is good, the good that we see in others.
That's right.
That we can take that in and walk with that spirit with us where we go as we move into our new year.
Ashe, ashe. And so our last symbol, we'll do a collective and we'll ask Sister Ellery to come forth. No, I'm doing the 7. I'm going to hold off for the Kendara. Is the Mashuma Saba. You don't say Mashuma?
Mashuma.
No. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
Mashuma. Right, 7 candles. So circles. It doesn't have. This is why repeating has its place. That's the 7 candles upon which the entire people uphold those principles. So each candle represents a principle. Each candle represents a flame, a light that we're supposed to light within our own minds and hearts. Remembering these principles as time goes on, but particularly during this season of Kwanzaa. So we want to ask Sister L to come forward. Yes, please say.
Sister NiKheper-Ra to come up and join us to do the 7 principles. And we will light, because we are in the celebration of Kwanzaa and during the season, we light the days that we're up to. So we will light 1 candle today, which will be UMOJA,
Right.
that first day, and then we will explain, or she will explain to us all the 7 days. But just so you know why we're only lighting 1 candle, when we're in this, we'll start with the black candle. Tomorrow, it will go to the red.
That's right.
And then The third day is the green. Then back to the red, and back to the green, back to the red, and back to the green. And that's because we start with the people and the unity of our peoples, with the blackness.
Right. Everything relates to the people.
So we start with the blackness, and then we move for red for the struggle.
Yes.
And then we move to the green for the growth and the victory of our struggle.
Sure.
And then we move back because we're somebody new once we've done that. Then we move back and find out what else do we need to be struggling for. And we struggle for that. And then we have a victorious struggle.
Yeah.
And we go back and we struggle again. And we go back because we have victory in that struggle until our full Kinara is lit. NiKheper-Ra.
The first principle for today.
UMOJA. Afrikan family.
Afrikan.
Peace and love, family. Most people know me as Sister L. I am NiKheper-Ra. I am that I am, one who belongs to the coming forth of the light of creation. Also translated as one who belongs to the transformation of Ra, which is the time frame that we are in right now, the transformation of darkness coming into light. So now that we have come out of the darkness and we are moving into the light, we begin by celebrating all of the struggles from the darkness that we have moved through and the fruits of that celebration to move forward into productivity, into prosperity, which is what we are celebrating today with Kwanzaa. Now, because Kwanzaa is represented through the language of Swahili, one of the foundational African languages, universal African languages, the seven principles are in Swahili.
That's right.
So being that we are going to be in Swahili, we'll be counting the principles in Swahili.
Oh,
Yes. So, to begin our count, number 1 is Moja. Moja is 1.
Moja.
Mbili is 2.
Mbili.
Tano is 3.
Tano.
Tano is 3. Ene is 4.
Ene.
See, you messed me up with this bad heart. Tattoo is 3. Tattoo is 3. Ene is 4. Tano is 5.
Tano is 5.
Sita is 6.
Sita is 6.
And Saba is 7.
Saba is
Yes.
7.
So again, Moja.
Moja.
Mbili.
Mbili.
Tattoo.
Tattoo.
Ene.
Ene.
Tano.
Tano.
Sita.
Sita.
Saba.
Saba.
Good. We have our numbers down for our 7 principles. Okay. Principle Moja. UMOJA.
Moja.
Unity.
Unity.
To strive and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Mbili.
Mbili.
Kujichagulia.
Kujichagulia.
Self-determination. To define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves instead of being defined, spoken for, named, and created for by others. Tattoo. Ujima. Collective work and responsibility. To build and maintain our community together and make our sisters and brothers' problems our problems, because I am my brothers and sisters keeper. And to solve them together. And then, Ujamaa. Cooperative economics. To build and maintain our own stores, shops, our businesses.
Now,